Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and welcome to another episode of System Shock Radio. So, if this is your first episode of System Shock Radio, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. So, I got some talks for you guys as always, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that they officially have dropped. A couple things have happened with Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, and it's crazy. We talked about it last week, and then now this stuff comes out. But they gave a teaser trailer for it, and now apparently there's an open beta. Or at least, no, it says beta application, so the beta might not be up yet. But so Missing Link gonna be a mobile game. In a similar vein to and a recap just in case you missed it from last episode, pretty much in a similar vein, perhaps having a similar purpose to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Furthering the story and kind of being the appetizer before we get into Kingdom Hearts 4. So I haven't seen the trailer yet, and I may or may not check it out. Of course, I've spoken about how I feel about game trailers. I mostly try to avoid them, mostly so I can go in as blind as possible. That's kind of just a me thing. Ain't nothing against trailers and stuff. I get it. Obviously it's to hype up the product, but me, I try to avoid them as much as possible. But that's just me. But just seeing some of the images here from the game, it looks kind of cool, kind of interesting. Yeah, so that is there. So the trailer is out. If you want to, you can go check it out. And maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. Maybe I'll make an exception because I have made a couple exceptions before. But and sometimes the exception has been made for me due to the power of social media. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so if you want to, the trailer is out, so go check it out and let me know what you guys think. But the next thing that we're going to talk about is that apparently the MCU is thinking about bringing back some of its original cast members, or so. Some articles here. It says that it wants to bring back some original Avengers for an upcoming movie, and including Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson. Now, that might not seem like that big a deal at first, but the characters that they play, of course, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark / Iron Man, and then Black Widow as Natasha Romanoff, I did it backwards, Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff / Black Widow, are dead in canon. So, and yeah, they died in Endgame. Black Widow died obviously to allow Hawkeye to secure the Soul Stone, and then Iron Man making the ultimate sacrifice. So, if they go ahead with this, unless it's like an in-between kind of movie, like shoved in the middle of the timeline, which would just be great, but otherwise it would totally retcon not only a couple of the biggest moments in Endgame, but to an extent Endgame as a whole. But a lot of people attribute this to the MCU continuing to struggle and not really get their footing anymore. And it's definitely something I want to go over more in the future, like talk about a lot more in the future. But a lot of people are kind of over the MCU. A lot of people feel like the MCU is on a downward spiral, and it does unfortunately seem to be the case. At least in terms of perception of it, and yeah, which is unfortunate. The MCU has been going for a while, and to see a lot of this stuff, like a lot of this downward trajectory for the MCU, is pretty heartbreaking. And hopefully they're able to get it together. If they even have to take like a sabbatical, a little break and everything, and even at the end of like the multiverse saga, which they're in now, to like get themselves back on track, that'd be beneficial. Now, admittedly, I can't comment on it too much just yet because I'm actually not caught up with the MCU movies. There's a bunch I missed. Obviously, I finished the Infinity Saga, but I've watched a few movies in the in the multiverse saga, that being Black Widow, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But otherwise, I'm not really caught up, which I guess is kind of telling. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. But once I get caught up with those, I definitely do want to do like a full-on video. That's the reason why I've contemplated doing it. Doing like a what's happened to the MCU, is the MCU on downward spiral type of video. But I can't really comment on that. It wouldn't be fair of me to comment on that without being fully caught up. And I'm not caught up with the shows either, admittedly. Yeah, but so we will definitely, but I definitely want to do that type of video later on down the line for the channel. So if you guys would be interested in that, please let me know. But the next thing that we're going to talk about is that, in some news that didn't really shock a lot of people, but did it somewhat make a lot of people scratch their heads, is that Ric Flair is now signed to AEW. Now, admittedly, I kind of saw this coming, and I figured he would either sign or it'd be a one-time thing when he appeared as the special gift for Sting, which makes sense. Sting and Ric Flair go way back. In fact, it was Ric Flair who wanted to drop the world title back in WCW. He wanted to drop the WCW world title to Sting way back when. And so obviously they go way back, but Ric Flair is now with AEW, who now a lot of people are concerned on whether or not he'll actually be stepping into the ring. Apparently he has been cleared, at least to take bumps, and even some reports saying he's cleared to actually wrestle, which please, Ric Flair, I know you said you want to die in the ring, but we don't want to see you die in the ring, and please stay out of the ring. But otherwise, it may be interesting to see what he does for the company. But a lot of people are definitely, a lot of people aren't really happy with this, because it feels like people like Ric Flair are maybe taking away from the younger talent. And I would say it depends on what they do with them. Like if Ric Flair's there and he does some stuff and gets some TV time, then I think that's probably not that big a deal, because WWE does that all the time. But if it starts coming at the expense of the younger talent, which I think is a lot of people's fears, that it'll start coming at the expense of the younger talent, where younger talent will not get as much TV time and will not get as much like opportunities. If that starts happening, that I think is when it becomes a problem. And they pointed to like older stars such as Adam Copeland and Sting. But the thing is, they can still, for the most part, go. Sting, yes, he is on. He's on his way out. At least in terms of wrestling, he's going to retire next year at Revolution. But they can still, for the most part, go. Even names like Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho literally been there pretty much since the beginning. So I kind of understand the fears, but I think it is being blown out of proportion just a bit. But hopefully AEW doesn't fully commit too much to the older generation. Keep things on the younger generation, which they have for the most part. Of course, MJF's still AEW World Champion. In fact, as of a couple days ago, I believe, he's now the longest reigning champion in AEW history, as well as obviously the longest reigning AEW World Champion, which is a great thing. And they're not, and the other talent isn't really in the title picture or at the moment for any of the titles, at least kind of, except obviously for Christian Cage. But that's that. But yeah, so hopefully they keep things on the younger talent. Like I have no problem with the older talent like showing up and doing things from time to time, but keep let me know if this makes any sense. Keep like the major focus. Give like the major focus to younger talent, and have the older talent and be present. It's fine if they're present, but have them take kind of a back seat. That, and the other thing people are concerned about is Ric Flair's past, which yeah, that is a very valid concern, but he's far from the only one, I will say. But yeah, but let me know what you guys think about Ric Flair being in AEW, and what do you think he'll actually do. And apparently the contract's only going to be for 2 years, or so I imagine he probably he probably won't do anything too crazy, um, but we'll see. We will see. But I definitely also do want to I do want to address what's going on with AEW as well later on down the line as well. But the next thing I want to talk about is that we got some news for 2K24, WWE 2K24, and that being that it may be a tribute game to Bray Wyatt, at the very least in terms of the showcase mode. So obviously with the W2K games, one of the most they have is the showcase mode, which is a series of matches, usually in a timeline order, throughout a wrestler's career. For example, Rey Mysterio was the star of the showcase mode for 2K22, and John Cena was the star of the showcase mode for 2K23. He, he and them wanting to do a tribute to Bray Wyatt for 2K24, I think is a fantastic thing, and plus it means we'll probably get the Wyatt family. But obviously Bray Wyatt passed away a few months ago. It's still crazy to think about that Bray Wyatt is no longer with us, and two members of the Wyatt family are no longer with us. That's heartbreaking to think about. But of course, a lot of tributes, a lot of love for Bray Wyatt, and so them having a full full kind of showcase career retrospective for him, and I imagine from even from like perhaps the Nexus all the way through until through the Wyatt family, then the Fiend, then his return and everything. But even though sadly his return was short-lived due to his passing, but I think the showcase would be a really awesome thing, and it'd be a really touching tribute to Bray. And the cherry on top would be him being the cover star. Now, granted, not always will the showcase's subject be the cover star for the game. For example, AJ Styles was the cover star of 2K19, but Daniel Bryan and his return was the showcase. But if he was a cover, or if he got his own edition of the game, I think that'd be pretty cool. Which, speaking of editions, and I don't think I was gonna talk about it, but I kind of have to. The new Bad Bunny edition that they released for 2K23 is really kind of lame. I'm not getting it. The Bad Bunny pack. The Bad Bunny bonus pack. I believe this is it might be a different one, but I believe this is it. I'm trying to find the exact pack. It's not like the pre-order for Bad Bunny, but it is like a special edition with him and is this it? This is the Bad Bunny bonus pack, which features and this is the exact description of it on the PlayStation Store. It says the Bad Bunny bonus pack features gold music. Oh no, this. Oh no, never mind. This is the pre-order bonus. Okay. Let me try 2K23. This might be kind of a useless, fruitless endeavor, but it does need to be talked about. Oh yeah, here we go. The Bad Bunny edition, and the Bad Bunny edition. There we go. Oh, so the Bad Bunny edition, and so pretty much the changes versus the other packs. This also includes the Ruthless Aggression pack and the Icon edition pack, as well as the Season Pass and the Deluxe Edition pack, which those I already have because I bought the Icon edition. But pretty much all that. But it also features a new Bad Bunny playable character based on his Backlash S23 appearance in Puerto Rico and more. And this is from the description on the PlayStation Store. It says the Bad Bunny Edition bonus pack includes Bad Bunny Backlash 23 playable character, Bad Bunny Evo My Faction card, Puerto Rican themed LWO shirt, Bad Bunny themed My Faction team customizations, 1500k VC pack, and bonus 52,500 VC. But obviously, of course, no problem with Bad Bunny. I got nothing against Bad Bunny, especially in the ring. Like, he definitely killed it. And his match at Backlash that they mentioned against Damian Priest was pretty fun for the most part. But did he really need a whole edition? And we kind of saw it coming because as the 2K, I believe it was on Twitter, posted, "Hey, do you guys want to see more DLC?" But but even this is kind of, it's kind of whack, honestly. Like we just get a different Bad Bunny skin. That's the big bonus. It provides some other stuff, but that's like the big bonus. Like there's a bunch of other DLC characters that didn't quite make the cut that could have made there. Some of the other NXT 2.0 talent that didn't make it to the base game, such as like Stax or Thea Hale, or even Carlito, because Carlito just came back. Like if this was like if they threw in Carlito, a couple versions of Carlito, including how he appeared at Backlash, or maybe Royal Rumble 2021, and maybe old school Carlito. Perhaps they're holding out for the next game, but if they threw that in there, I think it'd be a lot. I think it'd be just a bit more worth it. I don't think it would still be fully worth it, but it'd be a bit more worth it. But as it stands, it's kind of But it's kind of took that detour because as it was in the back of my mind, I was debating on whether or not to talk about it, and I figured, screw it, I might as well. But next thing we're going to talk about is we got some predictions. So today is WWE Crown Jewel, and by today I mean about in a couple hours. As I'm recording this at 11 a.m. Meaning by the time this goes up at around 8 p.m. 8 o'clock at night or so, Crown Jewel will be over and done with. So this is less prediction and more kind of a prediction in the moment, but also more kind of like a wow, these aged well. Wow, Nigel got these predictions right, or man, Nigel was way off in these predictions. But without further ado, let's get right into the card. And obviously, right off the bat, we have 8 matches, but also this is just the order that the matches are listed on the wiki. Doesn't mean these will be the exact order of the matches on the card, as per usual. Well, except for this first match, because it's going to be a pre-show match, as Sami Zayn will battle JD McDonough. For starters, this is the first time in a while they've had an actual pre-show match, at least that I can think of on in WWE. But also, JD McDonough trying hard to join the Judgment Day. Don't think he's gonna get the win over Sami Zayn here. It would be kind of a fun upset win. Fun upset win over Sami Zayn, but I don't think he's gonna get it. So yeah, I think McDonough's gonna lose here. Next up is for the World Heavyweight Championship, as Seth freaking Rollins will defend against Drew McIntyre. This is one that a lot of people are interested in, as Drew McIntyre still crawls towards his heel turn. Now, this match I could see ending in about 3 different ways. The first is Seth Rollins just retains like normal and just beats Drew McIntyre outright, and they continue prolonging towards the heel turn. Not as satisfying, but it could be done that way. The second one is Drew McIntyre, or the second one actually is Seth Rollins retains and Drew McIntyre turns heel on Seth afterwards, like beats him up, beats him down. And pretty much snaps on Seth freaking Rollins. There's no more Scottish Warrior. We getting Scottish Psychopath, baby. But the third one is Drew McIntyre wins the World Heavyweight Championship. And technically fourth would be Drew McIntyre wins it by cheating. But Drew McIntyre wins the World Championship and then turns heel. Or he wins it and then, so technically 5. But Drew McIntyre wins it and then they use that to continue his heel turn, because McIntyre has been teasing going heel for a while, not really coming to the aid of the faces as much, being a bit more complacent and realizing that a lot of his heroic efforts were almost in vain. But it'll still be an interesting match. So who do I think will win it? Who do I want to win it? Honestly, I don't know if they'll have Seth drop it here, but if he does, I don't think people would be mad at it. Like, Drew McIntyre hasn't been world champion in a long time, at least since like 2021. Seth Rollins has held it for a while. In fact, the last event they had in Saudi Arabia, that being Night of Champions, is where Seth Rollins won it. So him dropping it to Drew McIntyre, I don't think people would be too mad at. Plus, Drew McIntyre as world champion would be pretty awesome to see again. Call me crazy. I think I might go with Drew McIntyre on this one. But then next up in a fatal 5-way for the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley will defend against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Raquel Rodriguez. This one's going to be an interesting one. And a lot of power in this match, except with the exception of like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. So these women have been feuding over the championship and everything, especially Nia Jax. Nia Jax really been on a tear. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez has fought in the past. I believe it was at SummerSlam when they last fought, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely big match, big implications here in terms of the match. Or actually, it might have been. When did Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez fight? But nevertheless, who do I think is going to win? I don't think they're going to take it off of Rhea Ripley just yet. I think they might hold out. It was Payback where they fought. Yeah, that's right. It was Payback where Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez fought. But nevertheless, I don't think they're going to take it off Rhea Ripley just yet. I think they're probably, and this is a bold prediction from me, but I think they're going to hold out until she fights Jade Cargill. When will she fight Jade Cargill? Not sure yet, but I think they're going to hold out for the time being. So I think Rhea Ripley will retain here, but I think this match will still be an interesting one. Then next up, the Tribal Chief meets the Megastar as Roman Reigns will be defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against L.A. Knight. Yeah. Granted, LA Knight's not winning this match. Let's just put that out in the open. Let's just be as transparent as possible about that. LA Knight is not winning this match. That being said, though this match does still have potential to be an interesting one. Like, this will be a great test to really test if LA Knight truly is ready for the main event scene. Roman Reigns is essentially LA Knight's test here. We will see if LA Knight indeed does pass the test. They're definitely high on him. They definitely are pushing him. Like, the fans are still behind him as ever. He's selling merch like crazy. He's getting featured a lot on TV. He now getting this world title shot against Roman Reigns. Even if he doesn't win, and for him to look good in defeat, I think will still be a fantastic thing for his career. Meanwhile, Roman, I believe this is going to be Roman's last match until 2024, which does kind of suck. But hopefully he goes out in a really good match against LA Knight. So while I don't think LA Knight is winning this match, I think Roman Reigns is going to retain. This will be a very good look for LA Knight, even in defeat going against Roman Reigns. But then next up, for the United States Championship, Rey Mysterio will be defending against Logan Paul. I know how this is going to end, but I don't want it to end that way. Like, hey, look, Logan Paul, he's impressive. Don't get me wrong. He's impressive. Say what you want about him as a person, but in the ring, he's impressive. He gets it. And I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards Logan Paul in the ring, because he definitely he gets it. Like, he gets it's like wrestling and the hustle behind it. He gets what to do, the showmanship. A lot of that is natural with him being not just a YouTuber but a miner as well. He gets it. I get that, but I don't want him to take the title off of Rey Mysterio. But I know it's gonna happen. And Rey, you had a good run, but I think Logan Paul is gonna take the title from Ray here. Or I don't think Logan Paul will have too long of a U.S. title reign. I'm not even against Logan Paul having a reign with the U.S. title, but uh, but but just not Rey Mysterio. But I know it's gonna happen, and so I think I'm gonna go with Logan Paul in this one. Then next up is Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. He's so obviously Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso have been, and pretty much like everyone on Raw has been feuding with the Judgment Day up until this point. I mean, including Damian Priest winning and Finn Balor winning the tag titles back from Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso after they had just won them at Fastlane, which was a really weird choice. But as for this match, I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. This one and probably will go to Cody, but I think. But there is a possibility that Damian Priest might cash in, which he's alluded to a few times. But get this little warm-up match against Cody, then may or may not cash in later on in the night. Or that day, that should be. And perhaps against Seth Rollins or new champion Drew McIntyre. We'll see. But then, that's the sixth ending. That being McIntyre loses to Rollins. Damian Priest beats up Rollins. McIntyre essentially leaves Seth for dead. So a few angles for that World Heavyweight Championship match. But next up, John Cena will be battling against Solo Sikoa. Cena and Solo have been going at it. I believe they even had a match previously, but obviously John Cena definitely been going at it with the Bloodline, and especially Solo Sikoa. Okay. So they haven't faced off, but they did have the promo battle. So I didn't see Cena cut his promo on Solo yesterday on SmackDown. I missed SmackDown yesterday, but I heard Cena went in, which is not uncommon for John Cena. But I don't think Solo is gonna. Actually, this one could go either way. John Cena is definitely here to help put over the younger talent, which is nice. And Solo definitely could use the win, but I don't know if they'll actually have John Cena lose here. But crazier has happened, so I think I might go with Solo on this one. And something tells me I need to go with Solo on this one. Solo's gonna get him. I know that's technically the wrong Uso, but Solo's gonna get him. I think, but he'll still be interesting. And then lastly, for the WWE Women's Championship, both women's championships are on the line here, which is nice. But Io Sky will be defending against Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair recently returned. She was on hiatus for a little bit, but returned on SmackDown, not last night, but the week before. Helped out, took out the Damage Control. So now they're facing here. But I don't think Io Sky is going to be dropping the title just yet. But it'll still be an interesting match. I think they might keep the title off of Bianca for a while, which does make sense to an extent. Bianca had, of course, a year-long title reign, and that capped off earlier this year. So they might keep the title off her for a little bit, but I still think this will be an interesting test for Io. But I think I'm going to go with Io Sky on this one. So that is Crown Jewel, and I guess after this video does indeed go up, you can see whether or not I was right in at least some of my predictions. But nevertheless, the last thing that we're going to talk about is that it's not the Halloween season. The Halloween season is past. It's now the holiday season. That being, of course, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's not Christmas yet. Take the tree down. Take the Christmas tree down. It's not Christmas yet. We're still in Thanksgiving season. Honestly, I'm more so. Thanksgiving is more so a holiday for family and of course, food, yes. But of course, these are the times where you spend time with your family. Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that. So, of course, spend time with your loved ones and enjoy your loved ones, especially in the season, and really, as year round as possible. But really spend time with your loved ones. Tell them that you love them. Catch up with them. And this is definitely the season for it. It's the season of giving, and it's the season of family. So definitely enjoy your loved ones, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. Thanksgiving coming up, not Christmas. Christmas is until next month. Turn off the Christmas music. I don't care if Mariah Carey's defrosting as we speak. I know the Christmas music is nice, but turn off the Christmas music. It's Thanksgiving time. Then we can move into Christmas. It's crazy. This year they didn't even wait for Halloween to wrap up. They were playing Christmas music. But enjoy each other this holiday season, and happy holidays to all of you. Whether or not you celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas, is still wishing a happy holidays to each and every one of you and your families. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Turn on post notifications, every time I upload a video so you can see the drops. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this episode and anything I talked about and your reaction to what I talked about in this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.